up? What up? What up? How is it going? My goodness, haven't been here in a while. Oh my. That needs a little bit of a turn that way. You need to move. What's up, YouTube? I haven't seen you guys in a long while. I hope everybody's doing okay. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Listen, 3 minutes until the first Osiris League final of Osiris League Season 4. Now, I kind of messed up. I was supposed to be playing with ROC in their arc, and I kind of forgot to leave UCS and go to ROC in time. So, whoops, my bad. Sorry. Never going to happen again, I hope. Well, can't say that. Anyway, here we go. In the realm of Horus, we will have our final at 3 UTC in about 2 hours. So be back for that as well, because we will be casting this UCS against JST. I mentioned to y'all in my event page thing on my message board, on my community tab, whatever you want to call it on YouTube, that I'm going all in on UCS, because why on earth not? Shout out to the boys of UCS. Good luck to everybody in the finals. JST is a very capable team. This is not going to be an easy battle for UCS, but we're not focusing on that now. We'll be back to that at 3 UTC. For now, WIB, watch it burn, of 846 against 60 GT. The big final of the realm of Bastet. Yeah, it's hitting us first, and it's hitting us big time. Will Marquinhos play? I have no idea. I have no clue. It depends on what's going on out there, right? Or is it going to do... I don't know. Ross, you know, I saw you asking that on Drago's stream too, and you realize that being on duty for the Brazilian team doesn't mean he doesn't have his phone on him, right? Like, the match is over, practice is over. If this is going on at a good time, he can be playing on his phone or on his tablet from the hotel room or whatever he's doing. So we'll see if he plays. That'd be exciting to see. He is currently busy, though, with the Copa America for the Brazilian national team. So that's a good thing. I mean, I hope he doesn't play here and he keeps doing what he's doing for the team. That I can tell you that much. But if he shows up for the match, it wouldn't surprise me too much. WIB in 846. You guys are going to hear about them very soon again, as they are in the free-for-all KVK, which I don't know how KVK can be free-for-all when there is already alliances within the KVK, but whatever. In the free-for-all KVK coming up, where 916, 415, 846, and a few others will go ham. This is also where our old Meerkat friend, I don't know if friend is a good word for it, Laguna resides there as well. And so within a few moments, the match will begin. We got a minute to go. Chat, let me know in the comments down below right now in the chat, who is going to take Osiris League Season 4 final for the realm of Bastet? Is it going to be WIB, hashtag WRB, or hashtag 60GT? What's up, Misty? Yo, what up, Dollar? How's it going, guys? WIB will win. We'll see. We'll see. Thanks for the song. I mean, Mitch, it's the same old song. It keeps playing, right? What's up, Han? And Jinam, what's up, Pascal? And Mitch, of course. Medic the Massive. How's it going, guys? Who do you guys think is going to win this match? I'm excited to start casting. If there's one thing I do love in Rise of Kingdoms, is to cast the Osiris League. So I am stoked we get to do that today. And hopefully a bunch of y'all peeps are going to enjoy an awesome cast. Coming up, I see 60 GT. I see on WIB. Mitch rooting for WIB, but we got a couple of 60 GT predictions right there. All right. Oh, there we go. You missed the song. Oh, yeah. Well, I play the song occasionally to remind myself of the streams, right? When I'm not streaming, and I needed a little bit of a pick-me-up. What's up, Reverse Arcade? How's it going? Yeah, it's been a while. Tomorrow I'll do like a short special stream, kind of let y'all know where I've been in the past couple of weeks. Because I did disappear. That's no question. All right, here we go. Realm of Bastet. Can we get a little bit of love? This is typical, right? This happens every time, all the time. We gotta wait a couple of moments until the watch button appears, and here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Osiris League Season 4 Grand Finals between WIB of Kingdom 846. Showing up on your screen right there is the lineup, including a few names that you guys might know, others that you don't, but a bunch of folks here that are veteran players on the scene. Penigma even on the field. I didn't even know that. And against them, 960 60 GT, who I believe previously were in younger kingdoms and then moved to in older kingdoms and moved to younger kingdoms to participate in different events and things like that. So these guys both have players from veteran kingdoms coming into the realm of Bastet in order to decide who's going to take Osiris League Season 4. Is it going to be 60 GT or WIB? I will be commentating today's match, and we'll start off with a little bit of an explanation as to what Ark of Osiris is. Everybody wants their name on that building right there, but in case you're new to Osiris League or Ark of Osiris, you catch the finals, and that's that. Ark of Osiris is a game mode that is very straightforward and pretty much one of the most awesome things in Rise of Kingdoms. You get on a map for 60 long minutes, and it's a unique map that is specific for Ark. In it, you have the Temple of Osiris marking the middle and a beautiful map full of buildings, and the name of the game in this game mode is to gain as many points as you can for your team. Team Red against Team Blue go head to head. Whoever has the most points after 60 minutes is declared the victor. The way you win and gain points is by doing three things. Number one, occupying any of the buildings you see on the screen. After you've first occupied it, you've gotten through the occupation period. Every single minute that goes by, that building is going to give points to your team. The second way to gain points is by gathering caravans, which are these things right here on the map. And what they do is they give you points. They're just like straight up gathering. Number three, every so minutes, based on a bunch of different parameters, which we'll go over later, the Ark of Osiris will pop on the Temple of Osiris. Capturing that and taking it to your team's buildings will secure you between 3,000 and 4,500 points per arc. So this is a huge point-giving building mechanic, I guess you can call it. Here we go. 6 seconds before the match begins, the gates of hell are about to lower down. Everybody's about to pour into the field, and we'll start talking about phase 1 of Ark of Osiris as the gate is lowered down. Marchers are now going to fly out of the starting zone to start occupying the initial buildings, the obelisks and outposts. Remind you, the map is a mirrored map. Therefore, everything on one side is the same as the other side. And so as you can see right there, we have two sides that are equal, and for the initial stage, only the outpost of Seth and outposts of Iset, as well as the obelisks, are available for occupation. The importance of these buildings in the early stage is extreme, as the obelisk is actually your only way to get out of the starting zone. Once you secure the obelisk, it will provide teleports for your team. First 5 teleports as soon as you occupy the building, and then every few minutes you'll get more teleports. This is your only way to get out of the starting zone into the field without having to march back and forth all the time. So all teams are now pressuring hard to get their own buildings into action. As you can see, one of them used hard push. Has the other team used it as well? They have not used it on the first building. A little bit of a mistake right there, but hard push worked out for not for this either. So slight mistake right there by the team in blue. We'll explain that momentarily. We have not seen 60 GT pop there, hard push just yet either, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they did just before and we missed it. Let's see. Let's find out right there. Yes, they have. So 60 GT popping hard push early, grabbing their obelisk first and 2 outposts. But because they did have hard push enabled, which took away 1 minute worth of the occupation clock, their outposts are actually a minute ahead of the back outposts of WIB, which, as you can see, the front is also, all 3 of them, they have not caught a single one of these buildings without hard push. They have not triggered hard push at all. It was 60 GT. WIB are okay with taking the extra minute to occupy their buildings. They're going to lose a decent lead early on, and they're going to have to wait a whole minute to teleport. This is different than the current meta we know. The current meta dictates pop that hard push as quickly as possible, get those obelisks as quickly as possible, and get out on the field and go, go, go. WIB were there first to occupy buildings, but they have not used hard push. So you can see the difference in the timers, and this will result in more points per minute quicker for the team in red, who are going to take a clear lead in here, and they're going to get to go out onto the outposts in time. This means the strategy of energy usage for WIB is a little bit different. We're going to have to see where they use their skills differently, because they have indeed not used an initial skill at this point in time. They're now pouring out onto the field on their way to the enemy's desert altar. When you guys hear me say one building is meant to belong to a certain team, as you can see, the map is a mirrored map, like I mentioned, and each side has an equivalent amount of buildings. The desert altar at the bottom equals the desert altar at the top. The bottom one belongs to the red team, the top one to the blue team. So if the blue team occupy the bottom desert altar, they're occupying a building that is not supposed to be theirs. There's 590 total points for each side, or 1,180 points in buildings. And it is very common for teams to challenge the other team's buildings in order to try to take points away from them. In the early stage, we tend to see sieges towards desert altars in the latest meta of Ark of Osiris, and we're going to be seeing that happening from the red side, who are very, very deep into WIB's desert altar territory. There's a lot of troops in here compared to WIB's presence at the bottom desert altar, they have an arc rally making its way this way, but 60 GT have already started teleporting. WIB have yet to be able to do that. So their presence is getting already cut down by marches up here, and now comes the wave of attack. Both of these teams are aiming at their enemies' desert altars with a very, very hard push. And in the case of 60 GT, they're so strong compared to WIB in this scenario that they're actually attacking the folks in WIB. These are a lot of Cao flying to the front, trying to get here as quickly as humanly possible, and they did get here as quick as all hell. There should be a garrison somewhere in the field, and as soon as that happens, in a few moments, in 27 seconds, the buildings are going to unlock, and man, we're going to start seeing a little bit of problems for both sides right now. The red team rallying outposts all over the place. They're already hitting all 3 outposts that are blue, and they take one away. They're going to take all 3 of them. There is defense on the blue outposts, but the red team is just that much stronger. The blue team is doing pretty much the same thing, but the red team had some defenders in here on the front outpost, and so they will be able to secure that. Here we go. Buildings unlock. Who picks up what? The team in blue picks up 1 altar, and the rest all turns red. Sky altar at the bottom, red. Sky altar at the top, red. Desert altar at the bottom, red. Red team picking up their buildings and a freebie. Blue team have not even picked up their Shrine of War yet. They just do that now. But as the map opens up into occupation, the team in red own big portions of the map. They own the points per minute game by about 90 points every single minute, ahead of the team in blue already, with a slight 140 point lead. And WIB are starting on the wrong foot, and they're going to have a little bit of a uphill battle to duel in here, but their first priority is indeed done successfully. Grab the Sky Altar. They cannot lose the 750 points first occupation bonuses on their own buildings. And so they secure the Sky Altar. They're still sieging towards the Desert Altar at the bottom, but it is very well defended. There's big presence in here. Looks like WIB in blue will not be able to take this building away from 60 GT in red. Red team is also sieging hard on the Desert Altar up on the top, but no space in here, as the team in blue is very well defending this building. They have presence on the open field. They have the garrison captains. And remind you, these guys don't have the Season of Conquest yet, I think, commanders available in here. So keep in mind what they're using is all the way up to Edward, not even until Takeda's in the house. Pure strategy of and older commanders. If you have them expertise, you'll do very good in this realm. And as the defense of the Desert Altars is going, and it's going well, the first occupations are about to lock in at the bottom. WIB snatching from 60 GT an obelisk. This is very problematic. 50 minutes into the match, left in the match, 10 minutes into the match. Losing an obelisk means your timings on teleports are going to be a little bit off. And this is a one march that just tapped it the one time. But this 1 minute worth of occupation now is going to be detrimental for the team in red, who are now first occupying everything. They're way in the lead, but they're way in the lead because they did manage to first occupy their building successfully without any contest, while the blue team is still trying to first occupy successfully their own. Once they do that, this lead will close down slightly, but there is going to remain a good portion, a good lead for the team in red, who are now 330 points every single minute ahead of the team in blue, who are starting to scramble back into position, but they're starting off on the wrong foot, and this is going to be a really, really, really tough uphill battle, especially with 4.5 minutes remaining for the middle, and already some presence coming this way. The red team can't afford to go forward a little bit. They have the lead, and they had the buildings lead. Now the team in blue is starting to slowly make their way onto the offense. They're starting to wake up. They know that they got to do better than this, and they know that they're going to need to put on the pressure on 60 GT. They cannot allow 60 GT to rule the pace of this match, and currently that's what they're doing. In about 20 seconds, the Sky Altar will secure for WIB, and more first occupation points will come as they are already securing more of those and decreasing the red team's lead, which is over 2,000 points right now. A garrison change for WIB's Desert Altar is not going to be enough against this Edward rally that is doing tremendous work. WIB marching by, not even paying attention to their own Desert Altar. This could be very problematic. Saint finally realizing, this is a problem. We cannot lose buildings while going for the middle. We should be sieging and fighting for buildings, but not losing our own. As they try to take the enemy's desert Shrine of War unsuccessfully, their Sky Altar does occupy in their favor, and the lead of the team in red goes down to 1,400 points every single minute. And there's still, I believe, one more building to clear up, one more building to clear up. There it is, another set of extra points. And now we're down to about 1,000-point lead for the team in red. 560, 560. The points per minute stabilize. Everything stabilizes. But by the time we get to this point, 13 minutes into the match, the team in red is already 1,000 points ahead, and now they are looking very strong in the middle. The team in blue is going to have to do something about this, and do something about this quick, or else they might have to figure out what the heck they're doing next. But while that's going on, an obelisk rally worked out tremendously well as 60 GT now take the top obelisk away from WIB. Here's the problem. They have a garrison in there, in the sense that there's a full rally of archers that is holding this building down. Now, if 60 GT managed to hold for 30 seconds, which would be kind of nutty, they could teleport back here and start causing issues for the team in blue. And it looks very, very strong for them to be able to potentially hold. This also disrupts the team in blue's teleports, that currently they don't have any. But the team in red does have one. If the team in red occupy this building, there's going to be a little bit more teleports coming their way. 11 seconds, 10 seconds remaining. Is 60 GT going to teleport forward? 2 minutes remaining for the arc to the middle. We're going to go look at the middle, but we have to keep an eye on this obelisk. It secures for the team in red. Are they teleporting forward? There comes the skill drop. And as the obelisk is available, they're not even paying attention to that. They're paying attention to the middle because the middle fight is going down. But in the meantime, an opportunity lost for the team in red, who could have teleported forward to start backstabbing the team in blue. There's a fight happening in the middle. It's happening way out there, farther out on the temple of Osiris. And this is where arc carriers are supposed to stay near the temple, trying to hold on to grab the arc as soon as it comes out. But the team in blue is moving forward. They are getting pushed. They were pushed back to their side, kind of far away from the temple, and they're making their stride forward slowly and steadily towards the temple of Osiris. While that's going on, the team in blue is also 10 points every single minute in the lead in the points per minute game, while a bunch of buildings are blinking. We're going to keep an eye on this middle fight very quickly, although it's not looking very good for the team in blue. There is Heaven's Grace by WIB. This might have been the play they were trying to make. However, there is so many frowny faces going home for the team in blue compared to the team in red that I don't even know how many times you're going to be doing that and surviving. You can Heaven's Grace all you want. The team in red is just going to murk you out. And while that's going on, top Desert Altar taken out of WIB's hand, who are now in the points per minute deficit by about 140 points every single minute. Arc of Osiris about to pop 1,100 points behind. WIB find themselves between a tough spot and a rock. They need this arc. They need to get in here. They need to somehow put the pressure back on and get themselves this arc, or else they're going to be in a very, very deep problem. They're going to need one arc on top of this, and they're going to need to start playing the buildings game better, which so far they're not able to beat their team in red. However, there are more and more blue marches coming in here. And while Frownies are indeed heavy on the blue side, the red side is now starting to see some of them as well, as some of the reinforcements from the red team made it into the scene. And so we're going to have to keep an eye on this middle fight because it could change at any moment. There is a decent amount of blue marches still in here, and the arc has popped, so we got to see who drops it on which side. 60 GT grabbed the build, the arc, and they are going. They're trying to leave. Their arc carrier is still standing still. He doesn't realize maybe he has the arc. Maybe he doesn't know what's going on, and now he is gone. He's starting to fall back. He's backpedaling with that arc, and now every single blue march is gunning towards this red march holding the arc. While that happens, however, the red team now has the opportunity to start picking one by one the blue team out of their way, as the blue team now has to focus on the arc carrier. All the other red marches are going to focus on whatever else because they're not getting focused. With the arc being dropped, now the fight is on an even playing field. For 60 GT, it's beneficial to pick up the arc because it will divert the attention of the other team. Going now, everybody's now gunning at the arc carrier just to get him to stop. While that happens, the rest of the red marches can cherry pick the guys in blue, knowing that they're not getting targeted. And look at the results of that. These guys are only taking counter damage while the main damage is going out towards the arc carrier, or at least trying to catch the arc carrier. If you're enjoying this cast, don't forget to slap a like on it, and of course hit that subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. We're going to try to cast more regular arcs throughout the off season in between this season, but we're going to have to figure out a good method to cast some good arcs. But for now, the arc is still in the red team side, and it is making its way further out. To make matters worse for the team in blue, they're down bad, chat. 250 points, and no, more than that, 270 points every single minute, going in favor of the team in red, who are now almost 1,500 points in the lead with an arc in the bank. This final is getting away from WIB very quickly. They need a quick reset. They first of all need to stop this building from giving points to the team in red. That's their first priority. Secondly, they might want to also not let this building tick in favor of the team in red, who are now way ahead in the points per minute by about 410 points every single minute. Plus, add to that the juicy arc that is marching its way back to the red side. I mean, at this point, the majority of the map is red. The folks of WIB need a very good shakeup. They need to grab their buildings. They need to grab occupation points. They need to start taking buildings away from the blue team, or else winter is coming very quickly for them. This is not the end of the match by any means of the imagination. Ladies and gentlemen, 42 long minutes remain for this deficit to be closed very efficiently. It is all a matter of resetting and doing their thing. WIB right now are chasing after a lost arc, and the team in red, recognizing it, they're not even worried. They're letting these guys pass through for the majority of them, and they're starting to gun it forward. 60 GT know that they now need to use these middle marches to just cause issues on the backlines of WIB. WIB is making moves forward, trying to grab the arc, trying to make it forward instead of being taking care of their own backs. And as a result, while 60 GT do lose the arc right next to their own desert altar, there is nothing here that the blue team can do to secure this arc and take it away from the red team, unless the red team makes a massive mistake. And so 60 GT now own the sky altar as well. That is slowly and steadily getting pushed on by one or two marches, trying to kind of at least fluff down the building as much as they can. Obviously, it would be better if everybody showed up together and swarmed at the same time, but beggars can't be choosers. For WIB right now, anything will do. To make matters worse for WIB, their Shrine of War is being sieged on, and while the rally is very weak, there's a decent open field swarm in here with an Ethelfled. We even see Beer and Ironside with Sun Tzu in the back. And while this Wu Zetian is meant to be able to hold this kind of a siege, the folks in WIB need to keep their eye on the building. Mokote right out here, standing by, ready to refill the building when the time is ready. And their own Desert Altar siege is starting to pile up. They grabbed their own Desert Altar back, which is good news, and they're even about to secure it, but 60 GT are coming in here with what's left over of their middle to just clash into the building. While that's going on, no damage being done by the team in blue whatsoever. They're trying to get their buildings back. They're trying to stabilize their own side back, and in the meantime, the team in red is just running with it. 300 points every single minute in their favor, and almost a 3,000 point lead, plus an arc that hasn't been delivered. The folks in blue are gonna need to figure out how they take buildings, and they need to take them quick. In the meantime, they're not even launching rallies. We're looking here. There's a huge amount of them coming out right now. We can see one rally marching out this way. Looks like a support rally of some sort is coming from the back. I am so confused. This rally is supposedly going to break. It's going towards the arc carrier. Okay. More rallies coming out of the team in blue. Quite a lot of them, actually. A lot more than out of than the team in red. But none of them have open field presence or any open field defense. What is this rally just going to hit? Are they just going to are they just... Okay, this was supposed to be a tank. A taxi rally. This was not supposed to hit a city. Someone completely forgot to cancel their rally, I guess. And there go all the blue marches. Okay, well, that was interesting to say the least on an Osiris League final. But okay, here we go. The team in blue pushing in now. That was a distraction. They were distracting us, chat. I'm telling you. Hard push by Laguna. He's not going to let this go down without a fight, but they need to start fighting buildings. The top Sky Altar is being attacked. There's a rally here and a good open field swarm. This is a good start for the team in blue, who now need to take this building away from the team in red. Penigma's rally hitting hard, and we know Penigma has the equipment, has the commanders, and has everything you need to have a very strong rally. Plus the open field swarm by him and a couple of others. This can be a successful take, but there's going to need to be a lot more blue presence in here to help out. The rally is doing really well. It is strong, it is capable, and nobody is hitting the rally just yet. At this stage, the team in red is at a big disadvantage because now the swarm on the building is getting real and the rally is very strong. This is going to be really hard for the team in red to hold, who instead of swarming the rally are swarming the swarm first. And as a result, more of a swarm came while the rally, that's a huge damage dealer, keeps doing the huge damage nonstop. Hitting the rally first is always what you want to do. Going after the swarm is the next thing, or else the rally is just going to keep doing dumb amounts of damage while you're focusing on a swarm that once the rally is done, the building is going to start attacking individual swarm marches, and those are not going to stand a chance against the building, especially if you keep refilling that building. You put 1 million troops inside a building, a 300,000 march is not going to have a chance against it. And so Penigma's rally is the only thing really holding the blue team in this fight whatsoever. And 60 GT are just like, we're just going to hold and we're going to just keep filling the building and hoping and praying and doing our thing. And it's working out well for them so far. However, their own desert altar is also under a little bit of a siege. The rally was taken care of on this side, but the open field swarm is still swarming. Still not enough for the team in blue to take any buildings away from the team in Wow, why are you guys cussing in chat, boys? Keep the energy positive. We're watching a match here. 3,000 point lead for the team in red and an arc that they're saving. WIB are going to have to figure out what on earth they are doing. But listen, this siege on the Sky Altar is doing really well. WIB are actually doing this decently well considering the situation they found themselves in. The building is still under threat. It is not safe at all just yet. Now the rally getting to red side, it's becoming a little bit of problematic. But for this rally, it's all about the skill damage. It doesn't matter how many marches are alive. So long as the march itself is alive, it'll keep causing massive amount of damage. And this Sky Altar could have been defended a little bit better, but 60 GT managed to hold onto it still, while they're also massively sieging on a Sky Altar. And this WRB are defending correctly. They're going after the rally. The rally is about to go down. Now the open field swarm can swarm the swarm. Now that the building will not have a rally momentarily to hit, the building itself will start doing damage to the individual marches. All you got to do then is keep refilling the building and let the individual marches take the damage. There it is right there, the refill. The rally starts going away. And look at the open field swarm slowly dwindling down. Now they're going to start taking much bigger damage from the rally, from the building that is going to start targeting them. And this is going to be very problematic for 60 GT. It's still not over. They can still take this building. There's still massive forces by the red team to be able to overcome the damage done by the team in blue and their building. But their building is doing a lot of damage now to this open field swarm. It is slowly dwindling down, but the building needs to keep being defended. All of these marches are down to yellow, if not red, and they're going hard. There goes another one out the window. Building is starting to dwindle down. The red marches, they need to take this building out. WIB keep refilling it, which is exactly what they need to do. They need to allow the building to do the damage. They need to help while swarming on the open field, and the red marches are all now on red territory. All you need is yet again just a full building and it will clear itself out. There is an Ethelfled that goes to join the building. A full march, extremely helpful right now to hold on to the bottom sky altar. That is well defended. It is slowly pushing all of these red marches out, and the defense looks very, very well done for WIB, holding on to their own sky altar. Desert altar about to take a siege. Well, not really, because 60 GT going for the Shrine of War caused a little bit of a mistiming, and now the open field for the blue team is a little bit late for this Laguna rally going onto the desert altar. Top sky altar finally stopped blinking, and so we're looking at a situation of 590, 590. Both teams same points, except that the one team is about 3,000, almost 4,000 points ahead now, and they have an arc that's worth 3,000 points in the bank. Add to that, oh boy, add to that, this situation is not looking good at all for WIB. 33 minutes remaining in the match. A lot of time remain, ladies and gentlemen, to still win this match for the team in blue. They need the next arc, and obviously they need to start making a better progress in the buildings game. The problem is they're not able to take a single building out of 60 GT. That is extremely hard to win an arc if you're not taking buildings and you're losing your own on top of that. Desert altar being sieged, and this is very, very, very bad. 60 GT brought a huge presence on the open field. They swarmed away first, WIB away from here, and even pushed them back, while the rally took out half of the building's health while not taking almost any damage whatsoever. Now, that open field swarm that went out to push away the reinforcements is coming onto the building, and it is destroying the building. Even though there are marches nearby to refill this building a little bit at a time. I mean, there is two Ethelfleds, there is a Mulan, there is a Joan, there is everything you need in here to buff and debuff the life out of this building. Nothing holds against this swarm. It doesn't matter what WIB are going to do right here. This desert altar is going to go down, and they're going to have to figure out how they grab it back, because they're about to lose again in the points per minute game, down to 3,800 points, almost 3,900 points. It'll be a 4,000 point lead, plus an arc being saved. The folks in WIB, how you guys made it all the way to the finals. You cannot be choking like this. Come on, boys. Come on. The world is watching. Don't choke on us. Speaking of not choking, I also shouldn't choke on my drink. Top desert altar goes red. Top sky altar, there it is. Penigma and a good swarm. Now he has all this, everything he needed. His rally is doing the same exact thing that happened in the sky altar, in the desert altar up on the top. And so, hey, look at that. The blue team reacting and reacting well. They're about to take the sky altar away from 60 GT, evening out the points per minute game yet again. And that's a good situation for them. Now they need to figure out how they hold onto the sky altar to start gaining points. And while they're at it, maybe get their own desert altar back. But look at this. Shrine of War now being attacked. Major swarm. There's a good rally in here. Still decent health on it. A Mulan in the area. A Joan in the area. Buffers and debuffers all over the place. This building is also going to go down. Shrine of War, 60 GT. While they do escort the arc successfully, and they're now 7,000 points in the lead. Ladies and gentlemen, Shrine of War about to go down, and the points per minute game goes in favor of the blue team for the first time in a very long while, and they are going to need to hold on to stuff desperately while picking up their own buildings in the process. Chat, 310 beautiful people out there. I hope you're enjoying the cast. Don't forget to slap a like on this video if you're enjoying it. Hit the subscribe down below. We will be back at 3 UTC with the finals of the Realm of Horus, so I hope to see you guys there as well. Shout out to my boys in UCS. Good luck to them. WIB about to lose their own sky altar. They need to hold, and they need to hold for dear life. They need to get people inside this building that is getting sieged yet again. But there is just not enough open field presence here. The blue team is scrambling to get anything in the building just so the building holds against a massive swarm I don't see a rally here, but it looks like in between the rallies, a big swarm snuck in and managed to get into the Sky Altar and come in strong enough so that the blue team didn't even have time to reset their defense. And bam, Sky Altar lost for the team in blue, who now are 3 altars down. While they do have the Shrine of War, which is good news for them and their enemy's Sky Altar, they're about to lose yet again the points per minute lead. Well, not by, well, they managed to hold on to it by a little bit, but the 40 points is not enough to win this match. They needed those 150 points. They needed all the points they're generating, and they now are just nowhere near where they need to be to win this match. If you're enjoying the stream, again, let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to see different. I keep taking a look at the comments, but I primarily focus on the stream and on the cast itself, as things are going wild. The team in blue are grabbing a building, grabbing 2 buildings, and then losing 2 primary buildings. Losing an altar is devastating. Losing 4 altars is game over. There's 1,180 points total on the map for every single minute that goes by after the 52nd minute. So for 52 minutes, there's a possibility to earn 1,180 points every single minute on the map. 600 of those points come from the altars. So if the altars are in favor of one team, there's just not enough points on the map, period, for the other team to be able to come back into it. Look at how much pressure WIB had to put on their desert altar just to get it back. 5 minutes remaining in the match, and the team in red, who pushed forward, are now rotating towards the middle. They're sending a rally everywhere before they go, though. They want to keep the folks in blue on their back foot. March is suiciding as they want to leave the Sky Altar quickly to make it to the middle. Sky Altar is not even being defended. It's just being held to take away points from the team in blue, who are not even going to be able to get this building out in time before it becomes occupied by Go GT, 60 GT, which is technically Go GT, I guess. And they're about to start gaining points out of this. Even if it's for 5-6 seconds that it's going to go down, there's the occupation. Red team, 150 points every single minute that are supposed to be blue. And they are in here for a couple of seconds now. This is going to be more and more points that the red team is accumulating while the blue team is trying to scramble for dear life. Look at how many open field marches are swarming in here with the rally just to try to get this building back, which is their own building. Sky Altar finally turning hands. Lots of points in favor of the team in red, but at least some good news. The blue swarm in here is looking decent. It's not too strong, but it's looking decent. If the red team slips, they might lose their own desert altar, but they have marches nearby. They are refilling their own buildings, and they are on their stuff. They're making sure that their buildings are fully secured, and WIB have no chance of getting a single building. Now down a ginormous amount of points. 7,600 points in the favor of the team in red. Again, 27 minutes remaining in the match. There is time to come back. This is not for you guys to be like, time for me to go. This match is over. It's not over at all. With an arc, the team in blue come back into action. There's provisioning at the late stages. What really the blue team needs to be able to figure out is how they close down the gap to about 1,000 points and hope and pray they out provision the team in red. However, if the team in red grab this arc, then coming back is going to be practically impossible. What they are doing, though, is they keep taking away points from the team in blue. 360 points every single minute for the 590 of the red team, who are now 230 points in the lead on the points per minute game. And what is the blue team gonna do? Every time they lose a building, they're not even gaining their own points, let alone they're barely taking buildings away from the red team. They did take a Sky Altar in the Shrine of War in a very successful take, but that came at an extreme cost, which they have not come back from just yet. The blue team, though, is posturing towards the middle. They know they need this middle, but so do the team in red. The team in red, though, can allow themselves to move forward a lot more because they have the points per minute lead. They have the rally hitting the buildings. They have the distractions happening. They can allow themselves to not have 6 marches in here trying to get a Shrine of Life back, or making sure that the Desert Altar is secured, which it isn't, by the way. The Desert Altar might go down in this process. A team in blue not able to take the Desert Altar away from the team in red, so those marches are now going home. While the defense is from the Sky Altar is leaving, there comes a rally for the Sky Altar yet again. So the middle fight is going to be extremely bad for the team in blue, because they might have numbers right here, and Laguna might be, you know, trying to pull people, make people move and all that. See, now Laguna has a march, which is going to stay red. They're not going to let that march do... The march is going to kill itself, right? But if Laguna doesn't pay attention, this march is going to stay red and useless until he does pay attention to it. And once he does pay attention to it, he's going to have to suicide it. So this is one march, not doing anything there. It is Laguna realizing, yeah, probably not a good idea. Here is the middle fight. Here we go. The team in red proven previously that they can take away everything from the team in blue in the middle. And the first skill popped by the team in red. Team in blue now popping skills just as well. Defense against attack on the skill usage. No to the deaths just yet by any team. So this is interesting. Here is the clash for the middle. And while that's going on, that's the insatiable desire we saw being procced earlier. And now 60 GT do the same thing. They grab it, and there it is, to the death by WIB and to the death by 60 GT or Go GT. These guys are going in and going hard. Keep an eye on the frowny count as we have 2 reds to the 3 blues, and there's another 2 blues to the 1 red. A nice little trade set for the team in red, who are trading a lot more in their favor than against them. Lots of frowny faces going home for the team in blue compared to the 1 frowny of the red team. Oh boy, the blue team were here a little bit early, but they aren't strong enough to take Go GT's middle. And what are they going to do? Can they be here long enough? Can they hold for long enough? Can they drop the arc on their favor? Can more blue marches make it here to try to help in this middle fight? Because whatever was in here from the blue team is right now sitting in that grinder going and just flying up. Did you guys like my grinder sounds? Drop a like on the stream. Y'all saw that happen right here, and look at them grinding away from here. Just keep rotating, baby. Blue team gone. WIB, what are you doing? Red team is just devouring this middle with an insane amount of not only AoE but buffs and debuffs. We're seeing a ginormous amount of Sun Tzus, of Saladins, Ethelfleds. We have a ton of Constantines in here. A little bit of I guess I see a Khan or 2. Just, I don't know why you would do that. But man, that spot the Herman. There's a Herman. There's probably a Herman in here. There's a bunch of different marches in here trying to do their thing, but the primary suspects are those Sun Tzus, are those Alexanders, is that AoE. It's just grinding down the team in blue. Look at the frownies going home. Just an incredible middle fight from the red team, who now have the arc, and they're chilling. They're making their way back again with another arc. And WIB, well, what do you do now? You're going to need this arc. You're going to need it really badly. But your guys are coming in little by little, and they're going to face a block of red swarm before they even get close enough to the arc carrier to do anything about it. And so for the red team, they just need to pick up the arc and keep moving it their way. Slowly and steadily, they're doing their thing. However, yeah, it doesn't look very good for the... Look at the team in blue. As they try to march their way to the arc carrier, they're just getting grinded down to dust in the middle blender. While that's going on, there is some blue marches here hitting the arc carrier. They are delaying the arc carriage situation, but at a 590 scenario where they are down bad, they're down 8,000 points, about 8,000 points, losing a 3,500 point arc with 21 minutes remaining in the match. WIB are pretty much sealing the deal, and they're going to have a really, really tough time to come back out of this. The only way they do really legitimately come back out of this is if the folks in red allow them to have another arc or another couple of arcs, but that's just not going to happen. The folks in red are just going to hold on to the arc until the very end, and then no problem. All is good out there. And so this match is looking fantastic. Chat, if you're enjoying the stream, again, don't forget to slap that like on it. And it looks like there's a bunch of folks out there casting the stream. I appreciate y'all choosing to watch us today. I know I've been disappearing a little bit, but we'll talk about that in tomorrow's stream. A little bit of an impromptu stream tomorrow. Desert Altar being attacked, being sieged quite nicely. WIB were really not able to barely hold on to their own buildings, let alone take buildings away from Go GT. That was our 60 GT in this case. Again, this building is going to go down because of Penigma's efforts and Scampede's effort. These guys have been swarming this building and rallying this building properly and very well in a very coordinated fashion, that this is the only building that has really traded hands in a somewhat successful way in favor of WIB. They might be able to just take out this Sky Altar barely. This is getting really close. These marches out here are swarming the rally, but they also have marches coming in. If the marches make it in before the building goes down, it doesn't look like this rally or this swarm is going to be strong enough to be able to hold. And so the Sky Altar is holding by the skin of its teeth, and now another march comes in here, and there's one more on its way. Full march is bad news for the folks in blue, who did a really good job to get to this point, but 60 GT are just in time, just in time to defend their own building, and there you will hold, and that's all that matters. That end hold is all that matters. The hold happened on the Sky Altar by the looks of it, as well as WIB hold on to their own building, but they lose their Shrine of War in the process. Buildings flicking it towards the red side everywhere. These guys are not letting these buildings go out, stay blue for too long. The blue team barely has enough marches to swarm the rally in here, and now comes a massive presence of marches from the middle. Not that any of them are too full of marches, but any little damage to this Desert Altar is what they need to be doing right now to be able to take it away from the blue team. Every and any piece of damage is what they need to do in order to distract the blue team from coming from this back area towards an offensive posture. And so, while the blue team do have at the bottom Desert Altar a little bit of a presence with a rally, a swarm, and all that stuff, it's just not enough. And 60 GT are looking like they are going to win this Osiris League Season 4 final in the realm of Bastet, right? What a match. The team in blue is not giving up on this arc. They pushed, and they pushed a lot. They have a rally coming in with a refill. Hopefully this one does remember to, cancel the rally. Penigma even picks up the arc. There is good blue presence here, but for the team in blue to really do something, they're going to have to move this arc quite a ways away. They're going to need to grab a Desert Altar potentially away from the red team, who are all very close nearby, ready to resend their marches out to fight for this arc. And this is the big problem the blue team has now. They are very close to where the red team refreshes their own marches. And so even if the team in red don't grab this arc right now, and the team in blue keep picking it up, more and more red marches are going to come in here. And this is just more of a delay, of a more nails on the coffin of WIB, because they're so focused on this arc that they're losing their buildings left and right. They're now 8,000 points behind. They're on top of that 230 points behind in the points per minute game every single minute. They're going to keep getting chewed down in here by more and more red marches. Even though they're trying to make their way towards the Desert Altar, I mean, they're going to have to march a very long way. And in the meantime, every single moment that goes by, they're losing more and more points. Arc Carrier is dropped. A lot of blue presence here. This is not the worst position on earth for the blue team, but to come back into grabbing an arc now is going to be excruciatingly painful, and it's going to come at a cost of the points per minute game. If this arc is delivered, though, it can close down this gap by almost half, which can be very interesting. The team in blue have not given up on it just yet, and they are starting to walk it backwards. They have a decent amount of marches in here, but the march that is carrying the arc is getting hit by 2 marches now. It is quicker than the couple of other marches next to it, so that is good news for the arc carrier, who is now technically a little bit faster. The blue marches need to stop anyone trying to hit the arc carrier, and if he maintains a straight, just marching straight, nobody's going to catch up to him. And here comes a little bit of extra speed for WIB, who are going to probably drop that speed skill in here to get the marches to go quicker and faster to the front to stop anyone from hitting the arc carrier, because the marches now, once the arc carrier changed his target to go a little bit further back, he stopped for a moment, and that was just enough for the red marches to finally catch up. And the team in blue is marching this arc back. They are coming back from a very tough arc situation. They now brought themselves into the kind of to the middle. There's enough time and space for the blue team to now start making their marches get here a bit quicker. And if they pick up this arc and manage to move it even further back, that is going to be tremendous for the team in blue. We now have the arc. They need the arc carriers to start running as quickly as possible. This arc carrier hasn't even started moving just yet, and he's already getting chewed down. You cannot be doing that. Your arc carrier, if you pick up an arc, you have to start moving as quick as you can, but he is not moving. Just now started moving a little bit, and the arc carrier picks up the arc but doesn't get anything out of it. And so another arc carrier about to pick it up. A bunch of folks just trying to get their hands on the arc. And they just got to march it. They need to gain space with it. There goes the arc. The red team picks up the arc. And just like that, drop it back down. This arc fight is looking extremely interesting because there is a little bit of a situation where the red team can lose control of this arc. But with 15 minutes remaining in the match, it is going to be very implausible to get a second arc. So this is really just to close the gap as much as possible, just to give it a little bit of that extra oomph to potentially maybe try to mount a provisioning comeback of some shape or form. But for that, the blue team need to stop losing the points per minute game, which they keep losing non-stop. And they're losing it really badly. 380 points every single minute in the favor of the team in red is not good news for the folks in blue. Absolutely terrible news for the team in blue, who might walk this arc back, but at the cost of pretty much the whole match. If they get it in, it's going to be a 4,300 point lead for the team in red, and their lead is just growing. The team in blue is not even capable of stopping that lead from going up. WIB definitely got caught with their pants down. They're a stronger team than what they have shown today, and you can see that by the fact that they're able to somehow bring back an arc from that seemed to be definitely not theirs into their side back. I mean, they're past the Temple of Osiris, so they are officially on their territory now as the arc drops, but they're losing the points per minute game. And while that's happening, all this is good news for the team in red nonetheless. The points per minute game difference is indeed massive, Colonel. It is the biggest problem the team in blue is facing right now, and it just keeps growing. Now it's at 530 points every single minute. And so this arc just keeps costing the team in blue more and more and more and more. The arc carrier might get dropped here as it's a very weak Cao Cao, who is marching backwards, but he is getting hit nonetheless. And he's about to... Oh, no, that's not the Cao Cao. I thought it was the Cao Cao that was getting hit and carrying this arc, but it isn't. There is a... what is this? That's a Saladin. Is that a Saladin? It is a Saladin. Okay, so... Is it? Or is it the Genghis Khan? What's carrying this? No. Oh, wow. My brain. There's a Osiris right there. What do you know? Osiris marching backwards. A rally by 60 GT, though, coming to the Shrine of War might be bad news. The arc is headed to the Shrine of War, and it will more than likely be escorted successfully. There goes the last thing that can hit the arc carrier before it makes it to the Shrine of War. The rally hitting the Shrine of War is actually good news for the arc carrier, because now it'll make space for it in the Shrine of War, as long as the Shrine of War remains blue, of course. But it looks like we have disconnected from the match momentarily. We'll get back into it, but I can tell you right now, the team in blue more than likely secured their arc, and the red team more than likely are still rallying the Shrine of War, and that is indeed the case. Lead dropped down to 5,600 points. It was going to be less than that, but with every moment that went by, the points per minute game working out terribly in favor of the team in red, who now own all the altars. They pretty much are choking the blue team away. Look at the points per minute right now at 890. 890 to 210. That's a 680 point per minute every single minute for the team in red. And this is definitely lights out for the team in blue, who could, in theory, maybe get an arc if there is no fight whatsoever and they grab the arc and dip backwards. However, even with that being the case, for a 4,000 point arc, by the time that happens with this kind of a lead, the team in red is going to gain a ginormous 6,000 point lead. And so the arc is going to be completely insignificant if the team in red just keep gaining points every single minute. Their lead now up to 6,100 points. And as that goes down, the points per minute game is looking rough. Team in blue is going for a red sky altar, desert altar. They want to get something out of the team in red, and they want to do it now. They're on the bottom side already. They were here fighting the arc, and now they're coming in for the desert altar. They're going to swarm the life out of this desert altar. And it is going to be a really tough hold for the team in red, who now have a pretty decent open field swarm on their building. Add to that the fact that they have their own open field swarm to protect here the building and to refill the building. They got to keep an eye on what they're hitting. They got to make sure their building doesn't go down. While that's going on, two other red buildings are blinking. The blue team is trying to get their own sky altar back. They do get their own desert altar back, so that's good news. If they can take the 3 altars away from the red team right now, that is a good situation for the team in blue, but it's just not necessarily going to be enough. They're really going to need to hope and pray that last arc is somehow taken by them. They could, in theory, both these teams could be farming like crazy. 7,000 points worth of a farm is something that is very realistic to see. However, at this stage, 7,000 points would just close the difference between these two teams. It would not give us that's just for the blue team, right? What if the red team is gathering as well? All they need is 3,000 points worth of provisioning, and they're already gaining an extra lead. So we've not seen any insatiable desires being procced just yet. We've not seen any of that being done just yet. So no gathering skills being used yet. The team in blue not even able to get this desert altar away from 60 GT, who had nothing, almost nothing in here. And the blue team had a massive swarm. This building is still being attacked, by the way, but 60 GT are so confident of their defense that they're falling back to refill their marches for the middle fight. They know that their building is fairly well secured. And I mean, kudos to them. While that's going down, they're still holding on to the sky altar down at the bottom that is getting sieged, and it will eventually go in favor of the blue team. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the whole story. The blue team sinking in almost 10 marches to swarm a building down, and the swarm is taking a long while to go down. In that time, marches are not doing anything else. They're getting their own building back. The team in red is gaining points with every single second this swarm is still going on. And once that happens, the team in blue barely managed to hold on to their building long enough to gain points out of it before they lose it again. Look at how long this swarm is working to get this Constantine off of the building, and finally they get him out. But all that time, the points per minute worked out tremendously in favor of GoGT, who now also seem to have secured their own desert altar very well. Buildings stopped blinking. We have a little bit of a top sky altar siege yet again. The rally is not looking too strong. Neither is the swarm, but the building is looking very healthy. That defense should be holding on very well. WIB are pouring everything they have into the middle. They know they must grab this arc at all costs, no matter what. And what they need to be doing in here is they need to stop. They cannot allow there to be a delay on the arc. But they have not won a single middle fight in the middle to this date. And so the team in blue has to bring everything in here. They need to push the fight away from the Temple of Osiris. They need to get the arc on their side with a fast march and then gun it out of here. 60 GT is doing exactly what they need to do. And that is, they need to bring the fight to the Temple of Osiris. They need to make sure that they can delay the arc being picked up. They need to delay the arc being delivered home. If they manage to delay that by even a minute or two, arc carrying is not going to be a thing. All they need to do is they just need to delay the arc carrier. And for that, they need to make it into the Temple of Osiris and make sure that they can get on the arc carrier's butt when the time is ready. WIB are pouring literally everything they have in here. But again, it will be very unsuccessful if while they do that, they lose their own buildings, which is the case that's happening right here in the Desert Altar. Desert Altar forever needs to bring one of his marches into the building and needs to do it quick. He's doing it, but it is marching in. It's going to take a second. Oh, that's a barely making it in. That swarm might just help the building hold. For the love of God, if you guys lose this building, it's 150 points every single minute. The folks in WIB cannot lose it. Can this building be held? Can they defend? Is that march going to make it in time? One more skill proc and it's all over. And there is another march defending the building. WIB holding on to their Desert Altar literally by almost nothing. Very, very, very tight defense right there, but a good one nonetheless. Sky Altar secure as well. Hello? You're even secure too. What do you know? Sky Altar at the bottom being sieged. We just talked about this building and how it cannot even be held by WIB for a few moments, and there it is again. The rally is on its way to it, and the rally is doing work. An Alexander YSG rally on the bottom Sky Altar, and here we go. Go GT, it is do or die. It is blender time. Skills being procced across the board. There is Heaven's Grace. WIB trying to heal. They want to heal. They want to make sure they're coming in here and that they have the middle. They need to get rid of these red marches before the arc shows up. First couple of frownies are red indeed, and that is looking decent for the team in blue, who are now having to figure out how they're going to carry an arc in 4 minutes onto their own side with all of this red presence trying to stop them from doing that. There are the arc carriers on standby, ready to rock and roll up on the top. Someone's already paying attention to that and not letting that be a thing. A lot of arc carriers on standby up on the top to the blue team. They want to pick up this arc and they want to make it out of here in time. They need to get that presence done. They need to make it in here. Middle teams fighting hard, and we're back to the blue frownies. We're back to the blue frownies. The red blender has been turned on, and the blue frownies are going home. And it doesn't matter how much red, how much blue presence there is. The frownies are undeniably blue. They're undeniably blue, ladies and gentlemen. Before this match ends, don't forget to slap a like on the stream. Hit that subscribe down below. We'll be back in about an hour or so for the next match coming up, which is going to be an exciting one. UCS against JST. My boys in UCS, good luck to them. I'm going to tell you guys a couple of things about UCS once we are in that match, including a little bit of insider information that is kind of funny for you guys to know how serious UCS have been taking these matches, and I've been taking these finals and all of this Osiris run. And there goes the blue frownies, and the red team dropped the arc on their side. Terrible news for the blue team, who needed this desperately. 60 GT dropping the skill. They want to fly. They want to run home. They don't want to let this arc not even make it. But the blue team is gunning for this arc carrier. In the meantime, they are becoming the meat of this grinder. And at the 7,000 point deficit, Go GT are just so strong. They are winning the points per minute game. Well, now they're finally stabilized at 590, 590. They were winning the points per minute game throughout the whole match. They were winning everything throughout the whole match, including arcs now. And they might even win that provisions game. We're about to find out. 8,000 point lead for the team in red. 3 minutes remaining. Chat, let's get a major GG spam in the chat for the teams in the play, because 60 GT, the champions of Osiris League Season 4, a realm of Bastet. I always forget the name of it. But anyway, they dropped the arc. Not a big deal. If the arc doesn't even get carried, it's not a big deal. While that happens, Desert Altar still at the end went in favor of the red team. And the 590, 590 went out the window. Red team gaining points yet again in this match. And 60 GT have pretty much already claimed their victory. It's going to be extremely unlikely, and maybe even impossible, for the team in blue to come back at this point in time. I guess AoE, debuff, buff, wins middle. Correct. It is indeed, they deserve the outplayed WIB. I agree. I definitely think they outplayed WIB. They are in control of the match the whole match. They led the pace. They pretty much, the match was theirs to lose. It wasn't, there was no place here for WIB to win. Based on what happened here, you bet on CD70, good luck. Why don't they make the winners of each 4 realms fight each other for the ultimate champion? 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons. Number 1 is they might do it. We don't know yet what the plan is. Number 2, some of these realms like this one are not playing with the latest and greatest commanders. And so now you're going to, all their strategy revolves these types of commanders. If they get all the commanders and all that, their strategy might not be as good with the other commanders, with the other types of plays and stuff like that. So if you take the first 2 realms, I can understand that, but the 3rd and 4th one have different commanders, and playing at this Arc of Osiris and this Osiris League requires such a different strategy and different types of commander availability than on on the Horus arcs where you have all the commanders available, and then there is more, the strategy varies based on the commanders available, let's put it this way. And I don't think that these guys would, I think they could stand a chance, but I don't think that their strategy would work as well with advanced commanders per se. WIB, for example, not using that hard push in the beginning was pretty much a killer. Like, think about the fact that 60 GT teleported their whole team up, well, 10 cities, whatever it was, up to the front, and for a whole minute, Go GT had marches coming and going quicker than the folks in WIB. That's a huge difference. And as the provisioners are coming in, the 10,000 point spread is growing. Can this become an 11,000 point game? We'll find out momentarily. The Ark is being carried. 30 seconds remain in the match, but the Ark carrier stands no chance to make it at this point back home. They did indeed take a 10,000 point victory, and there comes some provisions from the team in blue, kind of closing down that gap a little bit. But even with a good, decent amount of provisioning they're bringing in, it's not going to be enough to close down a 9,000, 8,000 point lead for the team in red. And here we go. Is the team in blue just going to close down this gap a little bit further? 9,000 point lead for the team in red. And G's 60 GT, our first champion of Osiris League Season 4. That's right, against all odds, against the team in WIB. Massive congrats to both teams for making it to the final, and for 60 GT for becoming the champions of Osiris League Season 4 Realm of Bastet. But if we take a quick peek, this is the whole story. Provisioning were equal. But then look at the occupation score. With that kind of an occupation score loss, the team in blue needed a lot of arcs. Even if they picked up the 2 arcs and the third one they didn't pick up, it still wouldn't have been enough. And so losing the occupation points this badly requires of you to win arc very, very badly and also have better provisions. However, with tied provisions and tied arc scores-ish, 500 points more for the team in blue, the whole story can be told from occupation alone. Will we stream the JST match? Correct. Chat, I'm about to hop out, and in about 50 minutes, I will be back with a UCS versus JST match. Make sure you guys come back for more. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream before you leave. We're 75 likes into it. I bet 25 of you can hit that like, so we hit those 100 likes before you leave. I appreciate all of you who chilled with us, watched this match. We'll be back in a little bit. In about 49 minutes, we'll launch another stream. So go grab some popcorn, go to the bathroom, take like whatever break you got to take, a smoke break, whatever it is you do. Then come back because UCS against JST is coming up next on Gecko Gaming. Chat, take care. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you again for watching the stream, choosing me over any other creators that were out there.